So back to a common beginning in the valley, right by the community gardens and the bus stop. I'm going to take a walk over to the river beach and the other lake that actually probably most people don't know about anymore. So today's walk is going to start out at basically the main four corners here and go from there. As you come up to the museum, you're going to see on the left a bridge that goes out over to the Samalo area here. The trail's closed sign is referencing to the motorized vehicles, not to the walk. So as you cross over the second bridge, you're going to stay to the left, and that's where the trail opens up. Again, the sign that's there is referencing to motorized vehicles. This is a great path to just go for a walk. Across the way is the RV resort again. That's usually where the holiday trails people will hang out on the beach. Used to be where we used to cross over the river back before the holiday trails was there. This is then taking the trail down into the meadow. Walking alone in the tall grass. If you are alone, it's probably a good idea to make some noise around here. Well, this always reminds me of Hawaii a little bit. It's so lush and green in here in the summertime. It's a really cool spot. You don't really feel the wind of the valley because there's so many trees around here in the afternoons. And there's a couple of neat spots that you can kind of jump off and see the river on. This is where the two parts of the river join together on the Samalo. One right from the lake, as well as the main Samalo that comes from up in the mountains. The trail keeps winding through here back and forth. Again, you'll see the ruts of the old machines that used to come through this trail regularly until it opens up into this great little clearing here. Pretty little stretch of water that stretches over to a really calm patch. As you carry on down the trail, you're going to turn to the left. Remember the trail that continues on, but for now you're going to go to the left. And this just winds back into the river here really quickly, and eventually you're at the river beach. And the river beach changes a lot each year. It can go high and low in terms of water level, and will change the course of the water every year when you're down here. But it's a huge open stretch of land that we used to come down here all the time with our kids and our friends, and the kids would play in the river, and a lot of them would swim here. So we're late August here, and the water level has come down quite a bit. There is normally water that runs right over these rocks here as you're looking here, and this basically makes a nice little beach. This time of the year, late August, you can walk across. The water level will come back up in a few weeks, I'm sure. And what is normally a pond on the right is stranded water to where the water has changed so much that now there's actually almost a swimming pond on the other side. It's a cool area, changes every year, and never disappoints. Now, as you come back out onto the trail, if you remember, it continued to go forward. If you walk along that trail, it stretches around to what is actually another little lake back here. It's another part of the Samala River and drains into the creek as well. And normally you can't see the water this low. It's just again late August, so the water level is a little bit lower. But there's all kinds of birds, and it's a really, really pretty spot in the evening. Especially, I know people like to let their dogs go. And then the walk back is pretty straightforward. You just carry back along the main trail. And if you want to, you can cut right across the main grass and the old ATV trail is still there to easily walk across. I will say in walking back that I'm always glad that I live in this community because halfway through the walk I realized I left my drink back on the car. And it's nice to know that it was still there waiting for me when I got back, still nice and cold as well. A couple of maps here of the trail that I took out to the river beach and to the other lake that's back there. And I wanted to give a shout out to where I had parked my car earlier, which is the community garden and all the great work they do in there. There's some really cool stuff that you wouldn't think that would flourish on the Sunshine Valley area at this elevation, but all of it is really cool. They do a great job.